Alright, welcome to Advanced Operative Techniques in Temporal Mapping. Now we're talking about beyond traditional predictive advanced astrology models. These are quantum astrological operations, QAO. Okay? But first, let's look at our sections. We have progressed planetary matrix analysis, profection systems beyond annual, lordship networks and planetary hierarchies, predictive innovation techniques, our synthetic prediction algorithm, consciousness interface protocols, implementation protocol, and our conclusion, prediction as co-creation, which I'll be honest with you, we'll just go over at the end right now, which I've done in another video, because honestly I could just start the video with an introduction to what I'm talking about by using the conclusion, because it all adds up to everything that I'm trying to say being, a part of the subject. So give me one moment. Ooh, my blanket is staticky and I'm filming this in my bed. Okay. So, which color should we use? Stick with pink. A different shade. Okay. So, section 1, we're looking at progressed planetary matrix analysis. We have a multi-layered progression synthesis. Now, what is this? Well, here's our traditional approach, right? Traditionally, secondary progressions is just 1 day equaling 1 year, analyzed in isolation. Advanced method, simultaneous analysis of 5 progression layers. Our layer time ratio consciousness domain looks like this. We have a tertiary 1 lunar month equaling 1 year of emotional intelligence evolution. We have a minor 1 degree equaling 1 month microcycle awareness. We have solar arc direction 1 degree equaling 1 year archetypal development. We have primary directions 1 degrees equaling 1 year diurnal motion destiny unfolding. And we have our synodic return progressions planetary return cycles specific planetary principle evolution. Okay? So, our innovative application, we're going to create a 5D progression hologram where each layer represents a dimension. Significant life events occur where 3 or more progression layers simultaneously activate natal points. I've talked about this in my other videos. I highly believe there's 64 or more infinite dimensions. And that's how we even have the infinity we have, because we are infinity. We are literally nothing but stardust at the end of the day. Nothing but stardust. So, an example of what I was just talking about is a career breakthrough occurring when a tertiary moon conjuncts the natal midheaven, solar arc ascendant trining in natal Jupiter, primary direction of Sun sextiling natal Pluto, minor progressed Mercury stationary direct, all within 1 degrees of an orb. Okay? Quantum progression states. Here's a concept for you. Progressed planets exist in superposition states until observed, consciously engaged. Here's the technique. We calculate all possible progression velocities, traditional, converse, symbolic. We map each as parallel probability threads, and we identify consciousness choice points where threads diverge. Now, this is going to get a little confusing. And in my other videos, I've shown you calculations, and I actually sit there and I describe them step by step. I do not confuse my audience. I do not make them feel weird or like they don't understand what's going on. So the goal is to help you become a genius in astrology. The goal is to help you become wealthy using your natal chart. And the only way you're going to do that is by being open to having fun with astrology. I like to play, and I like to work. But I've been out of a quote-unquote real job since 2024, December 2024. It's almost my birthday. I'll be 21 years old with no actual quote-unquote employment. But this is what I call my job. Even though I only have 95 subscribers as of February 5th, 2026, I'm going to keep on uploading. I'll be damned if I stop. So, Client's awareness collapses the probability wave into manifested reality. Let's look at a mathematical model. And I don't even like math, okay? A girl doesn't really like math. But we're going to have to go through this to actually understand what we're looking at here. So, conscious engagement changes W underscore I values, altering future progression manifestations. So, progression equaling W underscore I, and then we have P underscore I and T in parentheses, where W underscore I is consciousness weighing factor, and then we have P underscore I and T in parentheses as well, being the ith progression method value, or ITH progression method value. Again, conscious engagement changes W underscore I values, altering future progression manifestations. Okay, let's talk about profection systems beyond annual profections. Okay, what am I talking about? Does anybody have a clue? Multiscalar profection matrix. Traditionally, what? Annual profections, one sign is a house per year of life. Okay? Advanced simultaneous profection cycles. You have a cycle period domain. So monthly, 2.5 degrees, equaling 1 month subconscious processing. Decadal, 10 degrees, equaling 1 decade generational tasks. Planetary planet zodiac period, equaling life stage specific principle development. Harmonic, 30 degrees, multiplied by harmonic number aspect pattern activation. Revolutionary technique, profection harmonics. Calculate profection lords for all cycles simultaneously. Identify convergence points, periods where multiple lords activate the same natal point. These become fate portals, unavoidable developmental thresholds. I don't think anyone else has done this before, but if you have, then let me know. I would love to know who's used any of these techniques. Quantum profection state. So each profection year exists in 4 potential states. Manifested, conscious engagement, latent, unconscious pattern, potential, possible future, and shadow, repressed, avoided expression. Here's the analytical method. We use the client's natal chart, and it shows preferred state for each house. Transits to profected lord reveal which state activates. 1 second. Okay, and progression shows state transition timing. For example, we have a 5th house year in Leo with natal sun in the 12th house. What you need to know all the time is that rulership. This is all what it boils down to, is the rulership in astrology. So, manifesting as creative work done in solitude, latent, unconscious artistic talent, potential, future recognition for hidden work, shadow, fear of creative exposure. That kind of feels like what I'm going through. With Sun in Pisces. But it's in the 11th house, even though Pisces is naturally in the 12th house. So either way, I experience Piscean issues, to say the least. But lordship networks in planetary hierarchies, so the 7-layer rulership chain. Now, standard speaking, we have planet ruling signs and governs the house. Advanced, we have recursive rulership mapping with 7 levels, okay? We have the house lord, which is level 1. For example, Mars ruling Aries, the 1st house. We have level 2, lord of house, where Mars resides. For example, Venus ruling Taurus, Mars in the 2nd. Level 3, lord of house, where Venus resides. Level 4, dispositor tree continues to root planet. Level 5, exaltation, rulers of each planet in chain. Level 6, triplicity, rulers for element balance. Level 7, Deacon and Dwadashamsa. Excuse me. This is Vedic astrology, which I am going to make more videos about, including Vedic astrology, which I have already, but I want a video solely dedicated to Vedic astrology. So, sub-rulers for Dwadashamsa. And here's the analytical power. This creates nested planetary stories explaining why house matters manifest through specific life domains. Okay. Planetary government models. Each planet functions as a governmental department, with planet department function being like Sun, the executive office, identity management, authority, Moon, interior, ministry, emotion, security, memory, Mercury, communications, data processing, translation, Venus, State Department, values, relationships, treaties, Mars, defense department, action, protection, aggression, Jupiter, treasury, expansion, belief systems, Saturn, justice department, structure, law, boundaries. And here's the advanced analysis. We have cabinet meetings with multiple planets aspect, which department leads, budget allocation, house placements show resource distribution, policy conflicts, hard aspects equaling interdepartmental disputes, reorganization, Saturn returns equaling governmental restructuring. Okay. The dispositor web. We map all the planets to their final dispositors, meaning planets in their own signs. These root planets represent core life themes. The goal is to create a dispositor graph with planetary nodes and directional edges and identify central planets, most connections, isolated planets, few connections, and feedback loops, mutual reception cycles. Okay. Predictive innovation techniques. Midpoint pictures as quantum gates. Every planetary midpoint acts as a probability gate between the two planets' energies. And using this technique, we can calculate all 66 midpoints for 12 planets, identify activated midpoints transited, progressed to, or natal planet at. Each activation opens a specific probability channel. Multiple activations create probability interference patterns. For example, Sun-Moon midpoint activated by transit Jupiter. Channel is conscious-unconscious integration, probability field, enhanced self-awareness opportunities, interference pattern. If Saturn also activates, creates structured integration. Eclipse triggering chains. Beyond basic, eclipses don't just affect houses they fall in. The advanced method looks like mapping eclipse degrees to natal charts, identifying anti-Scion points, mirror degree across Cancer Capricorn axes, calculate contra anti-Scion, opposite anti-Scion, find all planets conjunct, square, opposite these 3 points, and these create a trigger network, all activated simultaneously. Eclipse effects ripple through this network over 6 to 18 months, following predictable timing based on planetary speeds. Planetary return phases. So beyond simple returns, each return has 7 phases. Pre-shadow, planet enters the return sign. Approach within 5 degrees of natal position. Exact conjunction within 1 degree. Integration, first 30 degrees after exact. Manifestation, station, or first major aspect. Culmination, reaches the next house cusp. Post-shadow, leaves return sign. Different life events correspond to different phases. Saturn return job loss often occurs in phase 2, while new career begins in phase 5. Harmonic trigger sequencing. So, using this technique, we calculate all harmonic charts first through 144th. We identify significant harmonics for the client based on natal aspect patterns. We track transits through harmonic charts. Events occur when multiple harmonic triggers align. For example, a client with strong 7th harmonic relationships transit through 7th harmonic chart triggers relationship events. When the 5th harmonic creativity also triggered creates romantic creativity. We have the 9th harmonic of belief for philosophical relationships. Let's look at quantum aspect orbs. Revolutionary concept, folks. Aspect orbs aren't fixed, they pulse with planetary cycles. Here's the calculation. Dynamic orb equals base orb multiplied by 1 plus 0.1 multiplied by sin 2 pi multiplying t little t divided by big T, where little t equals current time from planetary station and big T equals planet synodic period. Okay? Here's the effect. Aspects strengthen, weaken in predictable cycles. Events cluster during orb maxima. Okay? Synthetic prediction algorithm, the prediction convergence index, PCI, the formula where PCI and little t equals W underscore I multiplying big A underscore little I and in parentheses little t multiplying big C underscore little I. Okay? So we just saw this. Little W underscore little I equals technique weighing. Learn from client history. Big A underscore little I with T in parentheses, little t in parentheses, equals activation strength of technique I at time T. And then our big C underscore little I is client specific calibration factor. Okay? Here's the techniques we integrated. Multiple progression layers, profection cycles, transit patterns, eclipse triggers, harmonic activations, midpoint pictures, return phases, dispositor web activations. Okay? If you don't know what any of this means, I don't know how you can become a genius astrologer and map your life out and become rich and become successful. You don't know what I'm talking about. Okay? Watch my other videos. Thresholds. We have PCI greater than 0.7, major life event, 75% probability. PCI 0.4 through 0.7, significant development. PCI in 0.4 is greater than the PCI because it's background noise. Here's the calibration. Machine learning adjusts little w underscore little I and big C underscore little I based on client's actual event history. Okay? Consciousness interface protocols. We have predictive meditation points. Our technique, our protocol, our effect. We have a method, application, visualization. I'm here to help you guys. Alright? Whatever that looks like. So predictive meditation points. We identify upcoming high PCI periods. We guide clients to meditate on specific planetary archetypes during these windows. Conscious engagement increases positive manifestation probability by 30 to 50%. Choice point mapping. We calculate branch points and progression profection timelines. We show the clients where conscious choices create timeline divergences. We create choice tree diagrams with probability ways. Archetype amplification rituals based on planetary periods, profection lords, and activated midpoints. We design simple daily rituals to amplify beneficial archetypes during key periods, and clients using these show 40% better navigation of challenging transits. Here's our implementation protocol. Phase 1, natal baseline. We calculate all advanced metrics for the natal chart. We establish weighing factors based on chart patterns, and we create predictive profile which techniques work best for this consciousness. Phase 2, timeline mapping. We generate 5-year PCI timeline. We identify all major convergence points. We map choice branches at each convergence. Phase 3, conscious engagement planning. We design meditation ritual schedule aligned with PCI peaks. We prepare choice frameworks for branch points. We establish progress tracking metrics. Phase 4, real-time adjustment. We use monthly PCI updates, adjust weighings based on manifested events, and refine predictions using Bayesian updating. This conclusion we did not go over. Prediction as co-creation. So these advanced techniques reveal astrology not as fate prediction, but as consciousness navigation mapping. The planets don't cause events. They mark probability concentrations in the quantum field of possibility. Prediction accuracy increases when client understands they're co-creating the timeline through conscious engagement with astrological patterns. The ultimate technique is teaching clients to sense planetary probabilities directly, making the astrologer not a predictor but a consciousness navigation coach. Developing direct neuro-astrological interfaces allowing clients to perceive planetary influences as sensory experiences, transforming prediction into direct perception. I'll see you in my next video teaching you more advanced astrology. Subscribe and like for more.